Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly Stevens. I'm a teacher and author, and this is English Nerd. Today I want to talk to you about the difference between action verbs and linking verbs. So I'll give you some examples, I'll give you the basic definition, and then at the end of this video I'll answer some frequently asked questions about different situations that tend to crop up pretty often. All right, so the basic difference between an action and a linking verb is that an action verb is, as it says, an action. This doesn't need to be something action-packed. This can be something like haunt, sparkle, grow, all those things that someone or something can do. Even if it's something very simple or sounds kind of passive, it can still be an action verb. But it's something that someone or something does. A linking verb, by contrast, is what something or someone is. So it's more about a state of being. You can usually replace a linking verb with an equal sign. So some examples of linking verbs would be is, was, appear, become, things like that, where it's just a description of a state of being rather than an action. Now you might think, well, what about appear? If someone appears suddenly, that would be an action verb. If someone appears sad, then someone is sad. It's just describing a state of being, and so appear in that case would be a linking verb. Now, why does this matter? It matters for a few reasons. In terms of practicality and improving your writing, you want to lean more heavily on action verbs just to keep your prose in your writing athletic and interesting and moving right along without sounding bogged down. If you use too many linking verbs, it can slow everything down, make it much less dynamic, and so in terms of style, lean more toward those action verbs when you can. This goes for both academic writing and fiction or memoir, or really any type of writing that you do. Lean more heavily that way. In terms of other aspects, it can help you break down grammar or choose the right modifier or things like that. So for example, an action verb will often go with an adverb form of a modifier. So how something is done rather than the adjective form, which is just a description. So for example, if I say this looks tasty, tasty is describing this. It's not describing the way that something is actively looking, right? But look is one of those words that can be either a linking or an action verb, depending on how it's used. So if the thing or person is actively looking at something, or they're looking around, then you would use an adverb form. So I looked quickly. It's describing how that's being done. So you can choose the right modifier there. Action verbs will also sometimes be accompanied by direct objects. So if you have a direct object, then you're looking at an action verb rather than a linking verb. So in terms of various ways to break down grammar, to understand sentences, to choose the right word, it can be helpful to know if you're looking at an action verb or a linking verb. But again, I think the most important reason to know the difference between these two is that instead of using as many linking verbs as maybe you're prone to using, lean more toward those action verbs to improve your style. Now we're going into some frequently asked questions. So what do you do if it's something like, he is jumping? Is that an action verb? Is it a linking verb? What's going on there? Because you have an action, but you also have is. So that is an example of the progressive form. So is jumping is the whole verb, and that verb is an action. You know, it's something that someone is in the process of doing. That's all that progressive form means. So is jumping, was thinking, has been leaping, that all of that would be examples of the progressive form of words. So in that case, you have the linking verb, it looks like a linking verb, is, has been, was, that are just part of that overall verb. A linking verb is a linking verb when it stands by itself. So another question is related to tense. Does this have anything to do with how tenses are formed? No, you can put action verbs and linking verbs into whatever tense you want. So I will be there. um, I have been a teacher. Those are just various tenses of the verb to be, which is a linking verb, and I could put that into all of the 6 major English tenses if I wanted to. Same thing with action verbs, so it has nothing to do with that. What about has or have? Has been, I use that example. Has or have, those are helping verbs to form various tenses. So when you see has been, has is part of that overall verb. It's not acting as a linking verb. It's not acting as an action verb. It's falling into this very small third category of word. So I had thought that whatever had is the helping verb that is completing that tense. So has, had, or have are helping verbs that can form that tense. I think that does it for the frequently asked questions. If you have any other questions about the difference between an action verb, where the person or thing is doing something, or a linking verb where it's being something, please do let me know down in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. Until next week, have a good life, be of good cheer, and I'll see you then. Bye.